Without a doubt, one of the most crucial parts of your automobile is the transmission. But a lot of people are unaware that the transmission requires a number of parts in order to function properly. The transmission control module is one illustration of this. What symptoms might indicate a malfunctioning transmission control module, and what would the cost of repair be? Let's investigate. It's the Car Problems YouTube channel. Subscribe and let's get started. Check engine light. When the check engine light appears on the dashboard, it is the first indication that something is not right. You can be certain that there is likely a transmission issue if this occurs concurrently with shifting problems. If not, there are numerous reasons why the check engine light may illuminate. If you do not observe any other symptoms from our list, you should not assume that it is related to TCM. The best method is to use your compatible code scanner to determine why the check engine light is on. Among the most typical TCM error codes are the following: P0613, Transmission Control Module; P0614, ECM, TCM incompatible; P700, Transmission Control System Malfunction; U0101, Lost Communication with TCM. Erratic shifting. Sending signals to shift is the responsibility of the TCM. Shifting may happen erratically or at the wrong times when the module malfunctions. For instance, the vehicle might shift into neutral or another inappropriate gear. This may result in issues when shifting up and down. When attempting to move out of a stop, if the car is in a high gear, it might not move at all. Incorrect gear selection can also result in an accident, particularly if the vehicle is jerking and bucking. Transmission warning light. Not every car has a warning light for the transmission. If so, it may turn on due to a malfunctioning TCM. The light could, however, also indicate other issues, such as low fluid levels, an overheating transmission, or worn internal parts. In addition to the light, many of these issues will also result in some of the same symptoms. Stuck in gear. When the car gets stuck in one gear, it becomes even more concerning. When using first or neutral gear, this frequently occurs. You will either not move at all or become stuck if the transmission does not change into a different gear. Problems may arise from either choice, particularly if you are stuck in traffic at the time. It's best to get off the road as soon as you can in order to protect yourself. Poor fuel economy. The engine and the automatic transmission are closely related. The engine will suffer if there is an issue with timing or gear selection. More energy is required when the transmission has to operate harder. Fuel economy decreases during this period because the engine uses more fuel. A gas mileage calculator can help you determine how much fuel you are using. You can tell when it drops if you know what it usually is. Stalling engine when shifting gear. An engine stall can also result from not being able to shift. The engine will stall if the TCM shifts into a gear that is too high or low. It resembles what would occur in the case of a manual transmission. The engine would stall if you tried to pull out while the manual was in third gear. Slipping transmission. Simply said, a slipping transmission occurs when the transmission shifts out of gear. Between gears, it happens when the transmission acts as though it is stuck in neutral, unable to find the next gear. There may be a brief pause before the car shifts into the appropriate gear after a few seconds. A faulty TCM can be the reason for slipping, but there are other reasons as well. Worn clutch plates, a malfunctioning torque converter, failing bands, or defective solenoid packs can also cause it. Limp Mode. On cars, there's a safety feature called Limp Mode. It turns on whenever the ECU or TCM detects a potentially harmful defect. Limp Mode kicks in to safeguard the car's vital parts as soon as an issue is detected. Because the speed is controlled, you won't be able to drive too quickly. It might only remain in one gear as well. The purpose of this system is to make sure you get the car home or to a nearby shop, but in order to warn other drivers, you must activate your hazard lights. How to test. Since TCMs are intricate devices, troubleshooting them can be challenging without the proper expertise. Since the TCM does not frequently malfunction, we advise looking at other transmission components before the TCM. Here are a few simple actions that you can perform on your own without a lot of experience. Examine the TCM firsthand. Keep an eye out for any evident corrosion or connectivity problems. Check the vehicle's battery. Low voltage can occasionally lead to issues with the TCM. Make sure the battery is fully charged and giving the TCM the required voltage by testing it. Using a code scanner that is compatible, check the system. Search for any codes that might point to the issue. The TCM can also be checked in a number of other ways. You can use a voltmeter to check the TCM's readings, but if you're not skilled at it, you risk doing more harm than good. The best way to verify that this process is accurate is to follow it according to the service manual and compare the manufacturer's specifications. The best course of action is to have the system inspected by a mechanic. The majority of certified technicians possess the tools and knowledge necessary to diagnose issues more quickly than you can. In certain cases, like this one, you might be better off leaving it to the experts. Replacement cost. The cost to replace the transmission control module should be between $250 and $1,250. Your spending plan is influenced by a number of factors. These elements consist of kind of car you drive, where it is taken for servicing. TCM location. Labor costs are significantly higher in some regions of the nation than in others. For instance, you will pay more for labor if you live in an urban area as opposed to a rural one in the state. Labor costs can be reduced if you are able to adjust the TCM on your own. Replacing the TCM is usually not too difficult if it is placed in a convenient area, but the majority of TCMs require programming. You might need to get assistance from a dealership if you don't have the tools necessary to accomplish this. Hope the information was helpful for you. If so, please press the like button and subscribe to the channel. You can also support the channel by becoming our sponsor. All links in the description.